Absolutely. Just want to be with you. Hey everyone, how you doing? This should be us in the Think on Purpose group. Wow, it is almost February, and so I'm going to chat just a bit, and then I'm gone. You know how I do it. So I hope everyone is having a great week and things have gone well for you. Hey Charlotte, how you doing? Hi Lisa. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me any questions. Oh my gosh, Jared Johnson. Hey Jira, I hope that your travels are going well. Congratulations on making it through your college journey. I know that you'll be dynamic in everything you set your hand to in life. So that's enough of that. Let's get going here in the Think on Purpose. For those of you who know, ship made, for those of you who know, the purpose of these videos is just to give us something to think about, to help us think on purpose, be deliberate in our thought life, think about what we're thinking about, and be intentional. You know, be intentional. Life is too short to not be intentional. There are times when we don't have agendas and we just relax, you know, whether we call them a girl's day, a boys' night out, whatever it is that you do that's refreshing to you. But overall, on the whole, at some point, you do want to actively exert influence in your own life so that you can see some of the things that you desire to see in your life. And so today we're just going to talk about let it go. Let it go. One of the hardest things that, as far as human behavior goes, one of the hardest things people tend to do, one of the hardest things for people to do, are to let things go. Sometimes you just have to let things go, whether you're letting a person go, whether you're letting a thing go, an event go, an offense go, whatever it is. There are some things in life we have to be willing to just let go. Things get hot, things get heavy, they weigh on us. It creates stress, it creates friction sometimes in relationships. It begins to actually invade your line of sight. It begins to influence your perspective. Just like this hand is over my eyes now and I can't see. When we don't let things go, everything we look at has to go through this gaze. Hi Janae, hi Scott, how you doing? What's up? Scott Davis, that's my fam. Anybody looking for insurance or just sound wisdom in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area, please reach out to Scott. He's a great guy. But when we don't let things go, it's heavy on us. It creates weight on us physically, emotionally, financially. Come on. We know we have better things we can do with our finances. It just creates a weight and a drain. And so you want to be able to let things go. And so now I'm just going to jump right in. Often when you say let something go, you're going to think about an offense or you're going to think about a person. I don't know what it is, whether it's a person, place, or a thing. I'm just going to call it a noun. Say goodbye to nouns that are not producing the energy, the life, the substance that you want to see in your life. So if there's a noun that you're dealing with that is creating something you don't want to see in your life, you want to be able to let it go. And I'm going to share with you a couple of ways that you can vet these processes. Just a few questions you can ask yourself. They're not even super deep, but just a few questions. And if you will be willing to ask yourself and or your loved ones these questions, then it really does create a ground for movement. You really do have something you can build on and something you can look at and help look at with an accurate filter, you know, so that emotions aren't only the things that are driving. And so everything doesn't have to be reactive, but now you can be proactive in your approach and in your methodology to see things come to fruition again that you want to see. Life is for living, and I want everybody to be able to experience the benefits of this and not always live in a crisis style situation. So here's one of the questions you can ask yourself, as this is relates to people, people that you may want to engage with in a business framework where there's covenant or alignment. This is something you can do as a vetting process with people. This is not about being judgmental. This is not about being rude or even being arrogant. Take those things out of it. This is just simply looking at the process, improving processes. This is one of the things you can do if you're looking at maybe going into business with someone or having a sustainable, some type of covenantal relationship where you guys are going to grow together over the course of life. And this is something you can do. When you're speaking with an individual, I want you to think about the framework of the conversation. And when you all are presented with scenarios, ask yourself, Does the conversation go more toward excuses or does it go more toward options? When you're talking with that person, the responses that you get, are they more excuses or is it more options? Because if you're talking with someone and you start noticing a pattern of there's always an excuse and options aren't really a part of the discussion, that is a way that you can vet. That's not about judging that person, that's more about you. Is this somebody that you are wanting to partner with in covenant and in business? Because when it's time for the rubber to meet the road, you're going to want to be partnering with individuals that can bring options to the table. Excuses are easy. Okay, another way when it comes to business and alignment and covenant, one of the things you can do is ask yourself, too, when you do hit adversity, do the responses you hear in conversation with that person, is it more about blame or is it more about responsibility? If it's more about blame, if you're talking with somebody and they can give you 7 people that are responsible for a situation, but there's no ownership that comes up in that conversation, that's just indicating where they are as far as business maturity, emotional maturity, sometimes financial maturity. Again, this is not a judgment thing where somebody is arrogant or you think you're more than you should be. These are just ways that you can vet so that you know your circle and you know who you are linking arms with, because you want to be able to position yourself. Listen, it's 2019 and the climate that we're in so many areas, whether economic or political or whatever, things are shifting. These are the shifting sands of time. And so if you're going to link arms, you want to know the strength of the link. You want to know the strength of the chain that you're linking arms with. And these are just ways that you can vet it as far as business, financial, covenantal alignment relationships. Ask yourself, do these conversations more go toward excuses and blame? Or are these individuals, when I speak with them, they're looking at options and they're taking responsibility? Oh, I see where I did this wrong. This is what I'm going to implement next. And that's how you can vet something there. Another way, now this isn't just about people, this is about things that you give your time to, whether it is nonprofits or events or just different things around the house that you are giving your day-to-day time to. On average, how is your outlook after you have finished spending time doing this event, doing this initiative, or doing whatever it is you're doing? On average, what is your outlook? Are you frustrated? Are you mad? Do you feel drained but not in a life-giving way? Is it not organic? Is it more taking but not life-giving? Sometimes there are things that just take. I mean, that's called life. But if every time you interact with this thing, you just nobody wants to be around you after it because it has that type of effect on you, then there may be something you need to let go. There may be something you're not cut out for and you just need to let it go. It's no right or wrong. There's a better space for you. There's a better thing for you to give your time to that will not always result in your outlook being influenced. So on average, how is your outlook after you interact with this quote unquote noun, whether it is a person, a place, or a thing? Some of us have places that we have to go to, and every time we go to that place, I mean, we almost need like a martini, a daiquiri, a foot rub. We need to go get a pedicure or something. There's something we need to do to recoup after we've been at this place. And so if a noun is affecting your outlook, if it's affecting you so much that your outlook is affected after you're interacting with it, ask yourself, is this something I need to let go? Not personal. We're just vetting things now. And here's my final question. Again, told y'all I wasn't gonna be long. Y'all thought I was playing, but I'm not. Not gonna be long at all. I just want to share things with you to help you think on purpose, be deliberate and intentional in your thought life, and help you have more influence in your life than the winds and shades of time. The last thing I want to ask you, there's a movie that came out. It's called The Notebook. It's a romance movie, but I love it. And there's a line in that movie that I love the most, where the gentleman is speaking to the girl that he's in love with. And he's asking her, what do you want? And she's just frozen because she's so worried about what everybody else and their mom wants. But he's like, what do you want? And sometimes life asks you that question. What do you want? I subscribe to biblical principles. So for me, there are times when it's like, what does God want? But we want to be able to say what we want. For those of us that subscribe to biblical principles, we want to be able to say, what does God want? And once we know that, then we can even vet more effectively these covenantal alignments and these outlook things that are hitting and influencing things in our life. Listen, I love us. I love everybody involved. There are so many things that are competing for your attention. There are so many things that have our attention that are smoke screens. One of the things a lot of people were focused on the shutdown, and I hate that we had a government shutdown and for that amount of time. A lot of people were adversely affected, but sometimes we're looking at something so much we miss something else going on. We were so focused on the shutdown that we missed the fact that somewhere in our country, they have legalized abortion up to the date of birth because we were all focused on one thing. That is a real-time example of how there can be individuals that you are in covenant and alignment with, are nouns that you're so used to interacting with, that are getting your attention, that you're not able to give attention to the things that are actually governmental, that are putting things in place in your life. What does that look like? That looks like if I have a friend, or you have, I don't even know, not even a friend. If there's somebody in your life and it's always an emergency, it's always a Q1. I don't know if you guys remember, but a Q1 is just emergent. Everything has to be done right now, right now, right now. And so sometimes things are so right now, right now, right now within your covenantal and alignment relationships that it takes away the time, the mental energy, the finances, the relational equity that you want to have with other people. It takes all of those things. And then you don't have those things to be able to apply them in the areas that really need them. I'll let that be, and I hope that made sense to everybody. Thank you, Shirley. Thanks, Scott. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask questions. And again, I subscribe to biblical principles. You know, in America, sometimes we think God is American. I just want to let you know God is God, and America is America, and America is subject to God. Okay, so a lot of times we think God is American in our country, but I subscribe to biblical principles, and one of the most mature things we will have to ask ourselves is, what does God want? Especially when it's at a time that it is conflicting with what we want. We don't like to hear that, because in America we say, you know, this is the American dream, but God is not living the American dream. He's living his dream. And so that's for me. I do subscribe to biblical principles. If you don't, the questions that I submitted to you early, if there's somebody that you're looking at being in business with, are you looking at being in alignment with, that you guys are going to connect, and you're going to be connected in such a way that you're going to be influenced by the things that influence them, and they're going to be influenced and impacted by the things that influence you. Ask yourself, when I'm discussing something with the noun that is a person, is it a lot of excuses and blame that come up, or is it options and responsibility? Maturity requires options and responsibility. If you don't hear me say anything else, hear me say that today. Hear me say that today. Maturity and the real ability to leverage and think on purpose and be intentional requires options and responsibility. You have to be willing to look at different options. We all get headaches. I mean, some things are hard, but you have to be able to lean in, even in adversity. And then on average, what is your outlook like after you interact with this person, this place, or this thing? Are you happy? Are you mad? Are you like, life is full of possibilities? Are you cynical and like, man, I can't take it. This stuff don't never go right. You know, if you woke up like Tupac saying, forget the world or something like that, if that's the outlook you're going to have after you interact with a noun, and you notice this as a procedure, as a practice, as the common theme with this, then that's something you need to let go. That's how we started this, saying there's some things you have to let go. If you continue to hold on to everything, the weight of it will crush you. It will crush you relationally. It will crush you mentally. It will crush you emotionally. It will crush you financially. And if you're not tied down, it will crush you financially. And if you're not tied down spiritually, it will also crush you there. My hope is that it doesn't crush you there. My hope is that you're able to look at it and vet these processes, and be willing to humble yourself enough to really look at it so that you're not crushed. You know, you're pressed but not crushed. All right. So you guys, love you so much. I'm done. I don't think it took us that long. This is not shareable, but it will be shareable I'll go ahead and make it shareable sometime in the next 24 hours, because for the month of February, we will open their enrollment again in Think on Purpose. If there's someone that you feel like would benefit from these videos, or someone that you believe this would be encouraging to, please invite them to the Think on Purpose group. And you guys have a great day. It's Tuesday. I'm going to get on out of here and let my legs get some activity this evening as I go and I do something, as I go to a person, place, and a thing this evening that is life-giving for me. Y'all be blessed, and I love you much.